Already a very bizarre place. I've been mooned within 5 minutes. I'm here in the UK's worst rated seaside town. It is, of course, Skegness.
So I'll be holidaying here for the next 24 hours to see if it's really as bad as Brits say.
Some people call this place Skeg Vegas, so I'm here to find out exactly what is going on here. It's quite windy, as you can tell. Right, I've just got my fish and chips. Ordered a large fish with chips. I've never seen a square fish before. I like the bit of garnish on top. That's really done everything. Right, let's dig in. Let's see what it's like for £10.90. Your standard sort of fish and chips type chips. This fish, on the other hand, looks very bizarre. Tastes fine. Very meaty, a lot of fish in the middle of it, that's good to see. Feels like it probably had a good life, a lot of swimming and all that. Came from a good family. You know what, that's pretty solid. 7.6. Right, next I'm going to go check into the hotel. It's pretty much the only hotel I could find that was in budget. Not really sure it's going to be that amazing. Let's find out. So here we go, fish and chip shop on the corner, fish and chip shop here, another fish and chip shop next door to it. There's 4 fish and chip shops in a row. You can kind of see why it's got the nickname Skeg Vegas. A lot of flashing lights and sounds everywhere. So I think the place I'm staying is going to be one of these buildings on the right here, I think. I'm not really sure which building. Didn't have a particularly high rating in this hotel, but I didn't really have that many choices. Not really sure what I'm in for here. Well, here we are. Okay, so here we have the single bed, some towels, a chair to think about the world, kettle, some bullet holes. Here we have the shower, and oh, the sink. We do have a toilet, fortunately, and a loud fan. So this room cost £45. We'll now cut to some footage of earlier on in the year where I went to Krakow, Poland, and spent £55 on a room. A little bit different, but it'll do for the night, you know, 45 quid. Slight issue here, there's no soap. Yay. And just to make things worse, the flush doesn't work. It's going good. It's going good. Why does this doorway feel like it's going to open up in the middle of the night? God, what is behind that? The next thing we need to do now is the bed test. Do you know what? I'm impressed. Right, okay, just heading back out again now. Gonna go get an ice cream or something like that, I think. Now, some people have described Skegness as smelly, as the dirtiest place in Britain, as not having particularly nice people. So I thought I'd come here and find out. Let's go find out now. Let's see what the place is like. I mean, so far, I kind of feel like it's trying its best. You know, like it's clearly not being funded particularly well, as all seaside places seem to be nowadays. Now, when you're at the beach, you've got to come to the amusements, of course. So let's play some games.
Good job. Well done.
That's possibly my worst performance ever on the basketball game. Usually I'm quite good at that one. Well, this is great, isn't it? I don't think Da Vinci's doing that. Paid £2 to be mugged off. I've been scammed. There's no picture. Nothing's been printed. Right, I complained and they managed to get me the picture. It ran out of paper. £2. £2 well spent. Also, look at the arcade machines here. Giving away Prime. It really has taken over. Fair play. To be fair to it, probably the best amusements I've actually ever seen. Really quite impressed actually, if you're into all that. Got myself ice cream. It's quite peaceful out here though, aside from the sound effects every 30 seconds. It's why I don't like the beach. Ice creams like this just drip everywhere. Don't like the sand. It's all just the same everywhere you go, every seaside town. The beach here is a bit bland really, isn't it? It's literally just sand. Sand and sea. I hate the beach so much. Why am I here? Right, I've come back to the hotel. Got myself some sweets on the way back. £1.50 for that. A testicle's worth of sweets. £1.50. It's a disgrace. There's loads of stuff for us to do tomorrow, fortunately. Obviously it's all closed because I came later on in the day. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Hopefully we survive the night. Right, it's day 2, slept pretty well last night despite the curtains basically being paper thin. Had a nice breakfast this morning which came with the room. It was including the £45, full English breakfast. Didn't bother with the shower, to be honest, as you can probably tell. You know, people said it's the smelliest place in the UK, so I thought, well, I don't need to then, do I? I'll just blend in. Would I stay there again? Yeah, probably, if I was forced to. by gunpoint. No, I would, just. So I've checked out and it's now time to just go explore around the place, see what else is here, see what things there are to do, because there's quite a lot to do here for families mainly, but hopefully I'll find something interesting as well. As I showed you yesterday, there's quite a lot of fish and chip shops here, as you'd expect by the seaside. Probably seen about 7 or 8 at the moment. It does feel a little bit like you're going back in time in some ways. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but it does feel like you're going back to like the 50s or the 60s maybe. Not that I was around at that time, so that's complete conjecture, I've no idea. Don't know if they had lab books back then. God, it's a bit depressing, to be honest. I do kind of feel a little bit bad about making jokes about it and, you know, criticising and stuff, because it's, you don't kick a place while it's down, do you? It does look a little bit like it's had a bomb dropped on it and they've gone, do you know what, we won't bother rebuilding stuff, we'll just leave it as it is. It does have its traditional look. It's, you know, we can call it traditional, you can call it old, run down, underfunded. You can spin it however you want, is my point. It's certainly unique. I've got an upside down house here for some reason. It's got terrible reviews. People basically just say it's a waste of money. Yeah, you can kind of see why. It's just a house that's upside down. It does look a little bit knackered, doesn't it? Lot of character. Right, I'm on the pier. Not really sure what the point of a pier is, to be honest. Seems a bit pointless. Especially when it goes out only as far as the sand. If it went out beyond that, then fair enough, but it doesn't. Like I said, I just don't really get what the point is. If you know what the point of a pier is, then let me know. There's not really a lot to see other than the sea and some wind farms. It's not fantastic. It's certainly not the best seaside town. That's why I didn't win that poll. Is it the worst seaside town? I'm still trying to figure that part out. I'm still having a look around. Now, whenever you buy the coast, you always have to buy a pan of chocolate. So that's exactly what it is. Lidl Bakery. The first time I've ever been to a Lidl. First time I've ever tried the bakery. Let's dig in. This is brunch, by the way. Already had breakfast. I'll still have lunch, but this is brunch. If I was writing my life story, I wouldn't include this, put it that way. Whereas the Greggs triple chocolate cookie, I'd talk about that, I'd give it a chapter. This hasn't even got that much chocolate in. Pathetic. 7.3 out of 10. A bit disappointing. That's just silly. Why is anyone doing that with their lives? Paying for it as well. Imagine paying for that. To be thrown around like you're in some sort of washing machine. I'm on a pedalo for the first time. I've no idea how you steer this thing, really. Guess we'll find out. I don't know which way to turn. Try not to hit anybody. Yes, I'm a 24-year-old man on a pedalo by himself. Jesus Christ, it's gonna work out. I didn't realise it was this difficult. No wonder you're supposed to do this with 2 people. Knackered. I'm gonna need to lie down after this. Jesus. Move! Move! I'm gonna hit you. Sorry. Could do with some padding on these seats as well. Oh, my hamstrings. Most of them. Oh no, I'm gonna hit one of them. I'm gonna hit one of them. I'm gonna hit one of them. They're all after the food. Move! I don't think I killed any of them. I don't know. We'll find out when I get out. Geese's head just stuck to the front of the boat. That won't be ideal, would it? Right, pedalo done for the first time. Never done it before. Honestly, absolutely knackered. My hamstrings. I've got a hell of a workout for that. It's almost like they're not intended for one person to use, isn't it? It's almost like it's more of a family thing. I have to get a drink one sec. My back's sweated as well. Right, I've changed top. Bought this at Sports Direct. England top, little England number. Anyway, you got to pay 40p to go to the toilet here. It's ridiculous. It's robbing, really, isn't it? Anyway, I'm at my sweaty top now and onwards for the rest of the day. Got a couple more hours to go. Let's have a little look around. I fancy playing like crazy golf or something. I found a foot golf place, but it looks like the most tragic thing in the world. There's literally just a field with a couple of holes in. Honestly, there was no effort put in at all. Just a field with some holes. So yeah, we're going to try and find somewhere else and maybe get some more food later on as well. We'll get lunch at some point. The place has come alive though. There's a fair few people around. And you know what? It's kind of got something about it. You know, if you're a bit more of a traditional family, a bit old school maybe, or you've got kids or whatever, it's not too bad. My last pound. I died. I got killed by a ship. Right, I've spent up now in the amusements. They've taken 10 British pounds from me. Sometimes quite literally taken money from me. Did I get 10 quid worth of entertainment from it? Probably not. We of course found ourselves at Wetherspoons. Got myself a little orange juice and lemonade and a chicken burger. Not the best spoons I've been to be honest. The chicken was sort of pretty tough, pretty hard. In terms of rating, on the spoon spectrum, I think that's a 7.4. We're getting towards the end of this little trip now. Gonna have to go get my train soon. It's not too bad, this place, you know. There's obviously a lot of things for kids that you can do. I've not done a lot of them because it's for kids. Yeah, a bit run down in places, needs some investment. I do feel a bit bad for the place. Get the Saudis involved, get them to spend some money on it. I'm not even sure if $1 billion would be enough, to be honest. You might need a couple of billion. Is it traditional? Is it ran down? Does it look like it's been bombed recently? A mixture of the three, really. I'm not gonna knock it. I mean, I have done, and I will continue to. It's doing the best with what it's got. So the big question is this the worst seaside town in the UK? That's the big question we're trying to ask. I'm gonna say no. I can't name you a worse one, but I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna try and put a positive spin on this. Some people were saying it was dirty or it had a smell or whatever. It's not that dirty at all, actually. I've been very surprised. I've been to dirtier places. Not that dirty, doesn't smell, doesn't even smell of the sea. Doesn't smell of anything, so I'm not buying that criticism. I think that's harsh. So goodbye, Skegness. Just know that you're not the worst seaside town in the UK. You're not. You're not number one. You are probably in the top 10. In terms of worst, that is. I'm not top 10 best. Don't be stupid.